many of you guys are testers here? Cool. This might be an obvious story, it might seem a little obvious to everybody who's done testing sometimes. But the story carries within an idea, a seed of an idea that I feel like every tester around the world should be able to convey to people who make decisions about testing but don't understand testing. So, are you ready for the story now? Yeah, that's great. Have you been to a forest before?
Yeah.
Who hasn't been? I do like lots of testing trainings, and there was actually one guy in one group of 10 in Helsinki. He said, I have never been to a forest. But anyways, that's not the story. Most of us have been to the forest, have you? Okay. I too go to forest every August. I live in Oulu, so I have to fly into Helsinki bi-weekly for doing my job. But I live in Oulu, and when I go to the forest of my liking, it's a small place near Oulu. It's 50 kilometers south, and there's this beautiful forest, piece of forest where I go and pick the blueberries, because I just love blueberry smoothies in the mornings. And you know, I didn't wake up happy this morning because I was living in Omena Hotelli, and there is actually only coffee in the room and no blueberry smoothies. But most of the time when I wake up at home, I do the blueberry smoothies. So I need blueberries, and I go to that specific place near Oulu to pick my blueberries. I go there usually on Friday, and when we go to a forest, we go there for a reason, don't we? Somebody might go to hug a tree, but that's a reason as well. There are some people who go like to, just to monitor the birds. Some people go to pick the mushrooms, and some people pick the berries. Some people even shoot birds or like moose or something like that, so they're barbarians.
Some people just run around the forest.
Exactly, some people run around the forest doing like the orienteering, stuff like that. Do you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens to be.
And I go to see my property because I own the forest.
Wow, that's great, Tarja. High fives, Tarja. Give a high five to everybody. Oh.
It's great to be owner.
Yeah. So there is this forest, like forest road where I always drive, and there is this huge pile of logs. And it has like UPM, it's like one of the logging companies here in Finland. It has some kind of tags in the end of the logs, and they've been there for 10 years. And you know how it smells in the forest in autumn, in August. It smells like rotting wood and stuff like that. So there is this pile of huge logs that are rotting every year. There might be some kind of bug in the ERP system of UPM because they have forgotten the logs there. But anyways, I drive my car besides those logs. And if I come to the my blueberry picking trip as a standard, like regular tester, I would jump out of my car like this, and then I open the map on the hood of the car, and then I start mapping my route. I start east, and when there is this huge boulder of rock, I head north. And then there is this hiking trail around the lake. It's a beautiful lake. And this is the lake, and there is a fireplace, it's like a constructed fireplace to avoid the forest fires and stuff like that. I follow the trail to the fireplace and brew some coffee and fry some sausages. Okay, this is a great plan, and then I execute on the plan. I will have to change the color now. These are going to be what's the puolukka in English? Lingonberries. I changed the blueberries to lingonberries because I started with the blue color here. When I start my trip to the forest,
now you need to go there a little bit later.
Yes.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. I'll go there in September then.
They are not at the same time.
Yeah, they're not going to ripen at the same time. So you've obviously been to a forest at least once.
Sure.
Okay, then there are these places where it's great to stop and pick the berries. And I have a bucket full of berries when I brew the coffee finally. So it's been a time well spent, isn't it? I have lots of game. If I'm there to shoot some birds, I might have a backpack full of birds. Oh, that's barbarian. But anyways, I have a bucket full of berries when I approach my fireplace and brew the coffee.
What does this have to do with testing?
Exactly! Exactly, this is
Just
my
wait and
point.
see.
Exactly, this is my point. Now when I brew the coffee, I go back home and put the berries in the freezer. Next Friday, I come to the same place and go on my trail. What happens to the bucket? Is it full when I reach the
Depends.
destination?
Depends.
It depends. If I was asleep when I walked last week, I might have missed one spot. And actually there might be another spot that has ripened during the week. But the bucket is not as full. What happens when I do it the third time?
No berries.
No berries, only frustration. Yeah. So what is the, like my trail, what is the work by nature when I go out to the forest and go this trail to see if there are any berries? Is
Like
it hunting?
regression testing.
It's like regression testing. It is, my job is to go to the forest to only check that there are no new berries. Am I right? I'm going to the forest to check that there are no new berries.
Yeah, automated regression test.
Yeah, I might have. It might be a good idea to put some kind of like a robot dog to sniff around the path, you know? But I don't have the technology yet to do just that. So, the work has become checking by nature. I only go there to check and I get a bucket full of emptiness. Or is it empty? What's in my bucket then?
Assurance.
Mushrooms.
Exactly, Johanna. It is a bucket full of certainty. Certainty that on this path there were no new berries. So it's an empty bucket. It's a bucket full of a feeling. Nothing more. But that's what we tend to do, and that's what we did at the project that I was involved in and that blew up on my face. That's what we were doing in that project as well. We were picking buckets full of certainty and nothing more. So what would I need to do in order to get new bucket full of real berries?
Another way.
Take another route. That's exactly. So next week I will take this route, next week I will take this route, and the third week I will take this route. And there will be always new spots. I will put into the game, I will put all of my knowledge as berry picker, all of my experience as a hiker in the woods to get another bucket full of berries. And this is like the way I need to get a little bit lost into the forest to find new, like salis. What is it in English? Salis.
Catch.
Catch.